This is April garden update. Let you know what's going on. Springtime. Lovely blossom on very fruitful cherry tree. Very sweet. A lot of blossom. I've got sorrel, Chinese leek, or garlic chives. I'm growing Egyptian onions, but in a sort of spring onion style. Along there, I bunch them together. Some clover. That's me. What's it called? Rocket, wild rocket. It's perennial type. Comes up year after year. A suckery. Babington leek is a wild perennial leek, British native and Irish native. And that's its cousin, Poirot perpetuelle, which is a French version. That's Chitra, who's stealing all my greens out of the garden. That's skirret. It's a perennial root vegetable. It was mentioned by Shakespeare. It's a traditional English one, completely died out. People in America still have it. A salad burnet, and rock samphire, both perennials. And this is John Evelyn's favourite vegetable. They used to pickle this back in the 1600s. And over there is Good King Henry, which is a perennial leaf vegetable, basically a spinach. And we've got my Callibrock, which is a cross between Kailan and broccoli, so I'm hoping it's going to be perennial. We'll give it a go. Purple flowering peas, and I believe that's Papaver somniferum. The peas seem to do well in these plastic pots. They've come up much quicker, more strongly than in the soil. More skirret, Welsh onions. They're constantly harvested. They've been harvested through the winter as well. Just starting to flower. There's my potato onions. It's a flowering oyster plant. God, what's it called? Salsify. It has a very pretty flower. I'm going to take seeds and grow the root vegetable. And Egyptian onions. More Egyptian onions. More potato onions. And there's some purple flowering peas. And that is a artichoke I've grown from seed. One of the stars of last year and this year, which is Taunton Dean kale. It's a perennial version. It never flowers, or very rarely. You propagate it by taking cuttings. It's quite tasty, old-fashioned taste apparently. I reckon it's also the purple tree collard of the Americans are fond of. It's really tasty. It grows really strongly. I took this from cuttings last year. This one's the French version. It's Daubenton. Very traditional, old-fashioned kale from France. Garlic. More Taunton Dean. Also called cottager's kale. This is one of the cabbages I took as a cutting. People need to be warned that most of them are going to seed, so I don't know whether it's a viable technique or not. We'll soon find out. Probably not. There's another Egyptian onion, more potato onions, clover, the real star. It's 9-star perennial broccoli. It's already had the central head cut off, the central curd cut off. Very, very tasty, and it's still, even though it's had the central head cut, it's still doing really big florets coming out. Very, very strong. I've got 4 plants, and so far they've only been fruiting for the flowering for the last 2 weeks. I've had over 2 kilos. There's a cardoon. That's a broccoli. It's very small. I'm using a new technique of taking cuttings and growing them on, but I didn't get them in the ground fast enough last year, so it's not big enough. So the florets are really small, but it works. The technique works. I'll just have to be quicker this year. Here's some cabbages I took from cuttings. That one hasn't bolted like the others, but this one has bolted. So this tiny one here is also bolting, so the technique might not be working. There's comfrey, more comfrey, wood chips from all the branches I've been cutting. It's one of my pears. It's quite productive, nice blossoms as well. And another one. She's been trained in this espalier. Nice blossoms again. There's a hell of a lot of blossoms actually. I think it's going to fruit really well. Anyway, that's me update. April the 17th, 2014. Cheers all.